It is working. All right. Let's see. Make sure we got our levels. We got our levels. Oh, I gotta edit what this stream's about. I always do that. I'm horrible about that. Make this bigger. Do 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 do. Reboxing, not unboxing. The Strandberg. Save. All right. Check, 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 check. So, I'm actually, man, it is warm in here. Let me turn a fan on. Jeez. It didn't even work. Why didn't it work? There it goes. So, I am returning the Strandberg. I'm returning the Strandberg, sadly. Bums me out, but because I did research on this thing for like, I don't know, a couple months before I actually pulled the trigger and got one. But for reference, here it is. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. But beauty only goes so far in my eyes. So, main issue I have with it is, or the main reason I got it, I guess I should say, is because I wanted a 7 string multi-scale um tremolo guitar. I have a 7 string uh tremolo guitar, but it's not multi-scale. With multi-scale, when you have a multi-scale, the bends on the bottom 3 or 4 strings are like easier. It's not like a significant amount, but it makes it easier to play when it comes to doing like soulful bends and whatnot. But that being said, every time I do a bend on this guitar on the bottom three, I want to say the bottom 3 strings. Yeah, it's only been the bottom three. It's anything that's not wound. Um, there's a little tink. I don't know if I can get it to do it. Hold on, let's see if we can. Nope. Trying to. Of course, now it's not going to do it. But it's a little tink, and what the tink is it moving out of these compression nuts, or what do you call them? Set screws, set Allen heads. I don't know what you want to the actual term for them is, but and every time that happens, it adjusts your tuning, which is kind of annoying considering this is a very high end. In my book, this is the highest, most expensive guitar I've ever bought. But but that being said, also when I use, it's not all the time, but I'll say like 1 out of 5 times of using the tremolo, like probably can't hear anything anyway. Doesn't sound perfectly in tune right now. There's a creak right there. I just did it. There was a creak. Like it's just a noisy guitar, like unplugged. I guess it doesn't matter if you're playing through high gain, or amp in general. I guess it wouldn't pick it up in a clean tone. But yeah, I got geez, I don't even know how to even go about doing this. I've never done this before. Anyways, that's the main reason I'm returning it, because of the tinking and it's tuning stability. Tuning stability is huge to me. Like if you can't play through a song without tuning, it's it's a worthless guitar. I mean, I'm not saying Strandberg is worthless, but I don't. Even my wife was like, "You think you got a lemon?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." But it turned me off of Strandberg altogether because everybody else is like, "Oh, this guitar is the greatest." Everything you see on YouTube is like the greatest guitar ever. But they don't really talk about some of the flaws. Like, here's a flaw that I don't like. It's not really a flaw, but it's just the design. When you pull back on it, you see this little. Let me see if I can. This here, that bridge hits it. And that's as far as you can go. Actually, it doesn't even hit that. So that's not even that. What that is the little the trim rod all the way in. And they said it's because let me see, let me look in there. They said it's because there's a little threaded nut at the end of it that it grabs. I don't know how it works, but and I checked that when I took this all apart and it was tight. Everything was tight. So it hits the bottom the bottom of this 90. I guess it's just because it's like this long, I want to say. It's like when you put it in there, you just turn it and turn it and turn it. Like I want to say 30 times, and then it finally gets tight. But it's hitting the bottom of the cavity, which is weird to me because every other tremolo I have is you just it has a nub, you screw it on, and it's done. I don't know why they would. It just kind of hinders it. But even so, it's just like the cavity's not deep enough. It's just weird. But other than that, oh, what's the other issue I had with it? The D string. I think I finally fixed it. Oh, it's still there. Yeah, it's got fret buzz. And I thought for the longest time that it was this little piece here, which actually, before I send it back, I gotta adjust that back down because I raised the bridge part on that one string, thinking it was like hitting the first fret. It is here. It is hitting. Sorry, this isn't rehearsed by any means. It was hitting the zero fret. A zero fret is right. It's this fret. So you have that little black nut right there, and then there's a zero. It's what's called a zero fret right there. So on that one string, excuse me, this is the Strandberg string set, by the way, because I put other strings on it and it wasn't the right gauge, and I was like, oh, because my bridge was sitting way high, like so I had to get the Strandberg strings just so my tension was right, and now I got my bridge sitting perfect. Oh God, how do I show this? Let me flip it around. You want the bridge to be sitting like flush, pretty much, like most tremolos are. Some of them will sit up a little weird because of the shape of it, but I got the Strandberg. Like this is recommended for this guitar. I put the strings on. I got fret buzz on the open string on the D. That was the only thing that was buzzing. The open D. And I was like, oh, maybe the string's bad or something. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. And I took that string off and I grabbed another pack, grabbed another string, and same thing. And what it is that the D string is not sitting inside of the nut groove. It is sitting on top of it because it's a hair too fat. And I noticed that because it sits higher than all the rest of them. All the other ones are like kind of like flush to the top of the string in the nut, and then this one was just like sitting on top of the nut. So what that did was is it raised it up so it was barely touching the zero fret, which causes your fret buzz. But I mean that's to be honest, good luck to the luthier who wants to try to fix that because like you can't really file it open very easily because you have this here. Like usually when they file, they go like that way. So you have that, and then you have to worry about not filing away your zero fret. So good luck to that. And I wasn't about to do that. I'm like, I'd rather return it than try to modify a guitar that's brand new. And then they're like, well, you did this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. But yeah, like other than that, it sounds monstrous, but that's also the pickups. I mean, I was skeptical about the moderns because I played a guy's guitar with moderns, and I don't know, it was an Ibanez, and for some reason, when I plugged my wireless pack into it, it made this weird, god awful noise. Like I don't know what it was, and I was like, "Oh, it's the moderns. Oh, I don't really like them." But the moderns and this sound fucking massive. Like it sounds great. So another thing I noticed, like you ever like sit there and like play guitar? Like it's a dumb thing, but you sit there and play like this. You could hear the vibrations of the guitar when you do like some chuggy shit on this thing. It's like you literally feel the springs moving. It just makes it like you can. I don't know. You just hear the springs moving and whatnot. I'm really bummed that I'm returning it because like it plays. If it stayed in tune and didn't have the ticking, the fourth fret thing. If it could stay in tune, it didn't have the ticking when you do the bends on the first three strings, and then the fourth string not being able to sit into the nut right. Like other than that, it's like it's pretty sick. It doesn't have the pullback like my other Floyd Roses did, and I checked them just like I was like, I feel like this isn't that much pullback, and then I picked up another guitar and tried. I was like, yeah, the other ones have way more pullback, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it bumps me out because it's like literally my dream guitar, multi-scale, 7 string, tremolo, and it's beautiful. Like it's light. It's super light. Although I feel like it's just as light as my Legator. Oh yeah. Also the I don't know if I can capture it. Let's see. The Endura neck. You can kind of see where the shadow line goes. So what it is it's technically like a trapezoid top. It's like three flat angles. And I saw reviews that people were like, "Oh, it's a little thick," but and some people say they don't like it, but I didn't have an issue with it at all. My issue was tuning. Like it plays mean when it stays in tune, but I felt I was constantly tuning it, and that's annoying. I kind of went through the same thing with my PRS Mark Holcomb. It kind of turned me off of PRS. Now I love it, but it was definitely through a lot of heartache and aggravation. Um, the nuts on the PRSs are on the Mark Holcombs from the factory are like this cheap plasticky material. I don't know what it's called, but I changed it out for a Graph Tech nut, which is hard. So with the cheap plastic, what it did was it would grab the string, and then when you do a bend, it would break free. Hence, saying you'd have to retune it. Same thing with this. I'm not a fan of this thing. On a normal Rose, you have your tensions held by technically your tension's held by the tuners, which pulls it tight, and then after that you lock down, and then you're not relying on this little set screw to hold it from like breaking out. And not even that, like mine don't have set screws like that. It's a set screw with a plate underneath, which is a better hold than a rounded bottomed Allen. They use this same thing in like electrical panels. I'm an electrician, and I've always thought it was weird they don't have like a different setup for like doing connections in a panel. Like they should have something that kind of grabs the wire like this rather than just driving a nut into a wire. Because what it does is it makes this like bowl shaped hole if you don't if you over torque it. And to me, I've always heard that that derates wire when you do that. And I'm like, well, then why don't they make a fail safe type application for that? Same for this though. Like you tighten it up, and it just makes it leaves like it flattens out the wire. Like I don't like my other floor resist doesn't flatten out the wire. It'll mar it a little, like maybe, but not flatten it completely. And I mentioned the people that I bought this from. I'm not gonna bash anyone. I'm not even trying to bash Strandberg. I just want people to be aware, I guess, more of it. Like, don't always believe the hype on the internet. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, this is great. This is great." I've done it so many times. I've done it with some pedals that I've bought. This guitar, the Mark Holcomb guitar. I was a little irritated with that. A few things over the years, but what was I getting to? Now I forget my point. Oh, I mentioned the tinging. I call it tinging, pinging, whatever. The pink. You do a bend and it's not doing it now. There it is. I don't know if you heard that, but that's it breaking free, like, or moving. That means it's gonna detune, or out of doubt it's gonna sharpen because you're not pulling. Anyways, um, they mentioned like tightening it. Oh, you just need to tighten that up a little bit. And then I used the tool that it came with. It's like a crosshair. It's like a little circle, but it's like a four tool. It looks like literally looks like a plus sign with a circle in it for a gripper. And I broke it tightening it, and it still did it. I broke. I used their tool, and I broke. I thought I broke the guitar because they warn you not to tighten these too much because they strip out. And that's like that was like my biggest fear. I'm like, I don't want a chance stripping this out. That's kind of why I'm returning. I'm like, well, if I gotta worry about stripping it out, then I don't want it. Like my other ones, I've never had this issue. I just kind of do like a little. So even Ola Strandberg, the owner, he says to use this, tighten it like this. So tighten it like this. That way you don't have the long bar for leverage. Because if you tighten it like this, it gives you more leverage, and that's how you can change stripping it. And I was doing it like that when I restrung them, but they told me to tighten it more, and I broke the tool, and I was just like, well, I broke the tool torquing it down, and it still was doing the whole. Oh, there it is again. I just do a bend, and it just pulls it out. There it is again. There it is again. Just going through like the. There it is again. It just happens. I don't like that. It shouldn't, for as much as this guitar costs, it shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, it's beautiful, but beauty only goes so far. And now I'm kind of like deterred on the headless because of that. I don't like if unless they have a better system than this, they gotta have a better system than that. Bring back the tuners. Like I don't know. I don't know. I know that my friend has a Steinberg bass, and he's like here. You bring your string through here, and then you put it through here, and you tighten it, and then you cut off the excess. He said on his it has holes in the back of the where the headstock should be. It has holes in the back of this little mini stub, mini stub, and then you bring the strings down here and tighten it down here. I haven't. I've played his bass, but which it plays very nice, but I've never seen him restring it, so I don't know how it locks down. Yeah. So for looks, I give it a 10 out of 10. Looks wise, 10 out of 10. It looks hella sweet. A lot of people don't. Not a lot of people, but I've seen some videos where they're like, "Oh, it's ugly." I'm like, it's just different. It's not ugly. There's some ugly guitars, and then you're like, that's ugly. Like some of the stuff that Gibson comes out with, but I don't really like Gibson. It seems like an old kind of guitar company, like just geared more towards classic rock dudes and country, and you know, not many modern people are playing Gibsons. But anyways, I'm getting beside the track or beside the point. Yeah, it looks modern. I like it. It's very light. You can sit it there. I play like this anyway, so this is actually. I think it's weird when people play like this because when you stand up, nobody plays like this. You play like this when you're standing up. I think it's weird that people set it over here. Like if I'm wearing a strap, I literally have it in the same position as when I'm standing up and sitting down. But that's just me. But yeah, it bumps me out. I was gonna get an Aristides, but my thing is like, what if I bought an Aristides? Like they have a return policy of 30 days. The people I bought it through. And what if I bought an Aristides and they don't have a return policy? Like, you get what you get. I'd be so livid. I'd be so livid. Um, I've played a couple Aristides, like through one friend. He had two different ones at two different times, and I played it. It played great, but I didn't get to sit down with it and really mess with it. That's the thing about these YouTube videos. People, oh, this thing plays great. It's awesome. It's awesome. They don't sit. A YouTube video isn't 2 weeks long. Like it's literally what you see, and maybe they noodle for an hour. Like, and to be honest, I didn't even get to play this long enough to try to endure that because I feel like I'm a metal dude. So when I play like the noodly stuff, like whatever you're playing, kill switchy genty stuff, I'm good. But as soon as I start doing like that, bar chords really hurt my hands because it's just the strength of holding it and make sure you're getting every note. That's not tuned at all. It's close, but it's not. The little tings. But I didn't get to play it long enough to see if that those chords hurt my hands on this thing. And before I box it up, I might just play it like a chord progression for 5 minutes straight, just to see. Yeah, I'm bummed about it. I am really bummed about it, but it is what it is, and I'd rather get my money back and put it towards something else rather than have an expensive guitar that I never want to play because I don't like playing guitars that don't stay in tune. It's annoying. It's very annoying. You do some kind of cool bend and or some like dive or I like to do I don't know what they call them. I call them trim smacks. You kind of see them like Polyphia doing them a lot where um it's like I like to put the bridge like the stick like that. I've seen people do it the other way, but I just smack it and it gives it like a flutter. Usually on like natural harmonics or something like that. But oh god, just doing that there. The regular trim smack I do. It's just noisy. It's such a noisy guitar. Like now I want to pick up my other one and see if it does the same thing. I don't know. Anyways, for the people that wondered why I got a Strandberg and returned it, like no one ever does videos like this. I don't know how to make this a lot, not a live video, but oh, it's like a 21-minute video. I don't know. Well, anyway, if you watch this, like and subscribe. If I plan on, I'm a procrastinator. Like it's my biggest fault, but I plan on doing some. I don't want to do a bunch of covers and stuff. Like I know some covers, but it's not what I'm into. Everyone's doing covers. I like writing my stuff. I like getting people hype up my stuff. But I need to work on that. Doing like getting my because I have a new PC and I had all my old stuff on my laptop. I need to figure out how to get from my laptop to here. I'm not really a techie guy, so but once I figure that out, then I'll I'll do some like live streams with my music tour because I got enough music. Like I feel like I got like 15 songs at least of like it's like it ranges from like deathcore to like metalcore, mainly metalcore and earlier stuff. And even my only band I've ever really did shows with. Um, it's very as like dying, very as it wasn't really my. I was the drummer, but I knew all the guitar parts just because we switched up. It was a sloppy band. We weren't that great. I mean, the songs were great, but we weren't great as musicians because we didn't practice. We drank and smoked weed and partied and I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this thing is loud. Like you hear the springs a lot when you play. They're like, oh, you hear it. And you know what? A part of that might be because there's no backplate. I thought that was a little weird that they don't have a backplate for the springs. But yeah, I don't know. Huh. Anyway, God, it sucks, man. You do research on a guitar, you get hype about it, and then like I feel like I sound emotional, but really I'm just sick. I'm just like, you got a guitar. Nah, I'm just I'm bummed about it. I'm glad that they're really cool about the return. Like I feel guilty because I'm not the one kind of guy that just buys shit just to return it. Like, but it's a lot of money to throw out there for something that has issues with it. It's very beautiful, man. Even my wife was like, "That's a sick guitar." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." That's why I'm dumb bummed about it. It's light. It's like something. Oh, another thing, another detail. So I got to put the other strap locks. I put strap locks on it. I have to put the other strap holders back on. But when I don't like the fact that it's on the back because I'm a big dude. I like them when they're here because when you got the strap locks and you're standing, I feel like it'd be more so for even a smaller person, like a skinnier person. It's like the strap like holds it out from you play. You know what I mean? It's like you feel the strap just digging into your chest a little bit. So I feel like the placement could be better on that. I mean, I guess there's not a lot of meat there, so that's probably why they did it. But really, they could fix that with the way they miter this thing or a router or whatever you CNC cut it out. I do like the. I never even looked in the battery compartment. Yeah, but yeah, I don't like the. I don't like strap. So that's four things I don't really care for. I mean, I'm not gonna return it because of the strap placement on the upper collar there, whatever you. I don't know what you call that. Ugh. Excuse me. Shoo. Just ate some eggs. But yeah. My main reason is I feel like I could have filed if it didn't have the pings, like the tings and pings. It sound like Rastafarian. Yeah, it's got the ting man, the ting on the bottom three strings, the ping and ting. It's so fucked up. But yeah, if it didn't have that, I would try to file out that fourth string nut to get it to sit down on the zero fret. But then, who's to say the pings, like the pings and the tings from the bottom three strings? I'm like rap, like Dr. Seuss over here, dude. Um, like, who's to say that's not the only issue with the tuning stability? Because I can use a trim. Yeah, it's. Let me see if I can. It's not consistent at all with the when it breaks free. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna end this because it's just going on too long, and I'm just rambling over and over the same thing like an old person. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'm bummed out, but I don't know. Oh, so okay, I'm gonna ramble about this. There's this. I feel it's multi-scale. I would still jump on it. Like I like Avenged Sevenfold. I'm not a fan of their whole makeup and goth emo look. You know, I've never been into that. Like, don't get me wrong. I've seen some chicks that like wear it, and I'm like, okay, that's hot. But I'm not into it myself. Um, but Sinister Gates has this seven string headless guitar, and I'm like, oh, I just told myself I'm gonna get headless again because I think the main issue is these set screws. I think that's why it's making the noises. But other than it being a loud guitar, because it's like porous or something. I think there's like chambers in this body. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it. But man, it is such a sick looking guitar. The Sinister Gates. It's a Schecter. Like I've never seen Schecter put out a headless guitar. I didn't. Maybe they've been doing it for a while. I don't know, but it's like a dark green, and it's got gold hardware. Which I just told my wife I'm going to stay away from gold hardware because I have a. Actually, you can see right there. It's a Fender Strat. That was when I was going through my. I gotta have a dad guitar, you know, that and my Telly back here. Those are my two like dad guitars. But that Telly, I'll do a video on it. That Telly rips, dude. It's brutal sounding. Um, The Strat's good for clean tones. I don't like high gain through it. It's just noisy. That's just the thing with Strats. They're noisy. But the gold hardware on it, like if you don't clean it every time you play it, it just tarnishes and it looks bad. And I'm a pretty clean dude, but I don't dust and I don't like wipe down my guitars every time. Like I don't like even like now, like I can just wipe dust off my desk. I'm just bad about dusting. You know, they call me dirty, whatever. But yeah, actually, my wife said that she might give me some like jewelry cleaner, and I'm like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Maybe it'll get rid of the tarnishing. But yeah, the Sinister Gates, man, like his other guitars were like they look neat, but the headstocks look ugly. They look like Warlock, like BC Rich. I've never liked BC Rich headstocks. They just look big and tacky to me. Like, um, but the new one's headless, and the body is just like, oh fuck, it looks sick. It's probably the sickest guitar he's had yet. But maybe one day I'll get it. I don't know. It's not multi scale. That's the only reason I don't want it. It's not multi scale, and I love multi scale. But and not only that, I don't want to buy another guitar that's headless and it has an issue with the set screws and how it tunes. And anyways, I might actually email the guy I've been talking to about how it how it actually works and how it strings up. But then again, he's a salesman, so he might not know everything about it, you know. But I will say they're good about directing me to support and people that know stuff about it. Anyways, all right. Well, this has been 30 minutes of me ranting on my guitar that I don't want to return, but I just feel like it's stupid not to. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I mean, I'll try to do some riffing lives more often. I need to. I need to. Especially now I've been restringing my guitars. Anyways, thanks for watching. Deuces. Corny.